All right, hi guys, my name's PK and I am here with Kshitij, who is a client of mine. He actually has just bought a property. It's just gone unconditional, which he's super happy about, and obviously I'm super happy about. The highlights of this investment, and it's got so many highlights, and we've been talking about it over Messenger, but I'm just going to share it. Hope you don't mind, Kshitij.
Sure.
So this suburb that he's bought in Southeast Queensland, it's about it's achieved about $40,000 of growth since COVID started. So since about March, it's gone up about $40,000. All the data is pointing only one way, which is continued growth. And that's what, usually we look at, we prioritize the most. But the thing is about this property, it's also got positive cash flow. So the specific property that Kshitij has bought has got 5.5% yield. He got it about 20K under market value. It's going to grow, but in about 3 months' time, he should be able to extract some equity, which is fantastic for the next purchase. He just told me, as I was talking to him before, that it's got established tenants. I didn't know that before. 8 years, the tenant's already there, no issues about rent. I mean, I could go on and on, but really this is about Kshitij, you doing the talking and sharing your experience. So thank you so much for doing it. I really appreciate it.
No,
Um,
thank you.
Maybe just start off with your experience of property investing, your property journey before you met me, before you were doing what we were doing, your history.
Okay. It's not a good one to share, to be honest. I had a two investment property before I gone through the Property Accelerator course. But before, previous my two properties were like I just bought it just because everyone was buying around me. So I have no idea where to buy it, why I need to buy it, what should be my exit strategy, how it's gonna achieve the passive income in the future. So I have no idea. I was just keep on buying just because all my friends were buying, and I was investing in a suburb where they were investing. So they said like, okay, and most like one of my properties in my neighborhood suburb, which is like just simply like 2 minutes drive from my house. The another one is like another near one. But over the past few years, they haven't grown that much. That was I was supposed to. So it's a little bit grown. So just took the equity out and I had to step back just because I have my kids and they're growing up. And during that time, I was just completely occupied with them. But then me and my wife decided, let's go with buying one more property. And I said, like, look, this time, don't want to jump into it just because everyone is jumping into it. Let's do some more research. Where should we buy? And what is the right way of doing it? So let me acquire some knowledge before I just simply go to the buyer's agent and hand out the money. And that's something like I was really against it. And I have seen my few friends, they fall on their face while they hand out the money and they bought some property. And after 5, 6 years, they are still not growing a cent in the terms of value. So those are the things. Then I looking online, for asking a lot of questions in a lot of forums. The one question I was always asking, where can I buy high growth, high growth property, and who have the positive cash flow? And everywhere, like people were putting me down and say, like, you know what? If we know that, you shouldn't be here. If
Mhm.
everyone is knowing that thing, we shouldn't be here. Then somehow on the same day, I found PK's page. Uh, I had a good brief chat about him, and he explains what is what my strategy is. And I was like, PK, I have no idea what should be my strategies. Can you guide me through? And that day, PK just come to the picture, and he helped me throughout, like each and every step to what I can do to achieve my end goal. So yep, so that was my little bit brief background, like where I was coming from no idea about to be honest, I'm zero in finance. I don't understand the financial terms, zero on that side, because I'm more of a technical background. So I just do the search and everything. That's fine. That's my cup of tea, but not understanding the financial terms. So that those are the things which PK helped me and understand me to achieve my next property, getting my next investment property.
Okay, so you already had 2 properties, right? And
That's
you
right.
had a goal to achieve sort of some passive income in the long term for your family. Can you talk about what your aspirations were before you signed up?
Yeah. My goal is like achieve the passive income, but I never I wasn't aware like how can I what should my exit strategy and how it can be achieved. So uh, that's something like I was really unsure about it. Like, okay, I'm keep on buying the properties, but what should at the end what should I do? And like, should I just keep all the property and or sell all of them and just like I have no idea how I'll be able to achieve and manage the generate the income at the age of the retirement. When kids grows up, there might be their requirements will be keep on increasing as they're growing up, education and all sort of thing. So that came the very first week of the biggest accelerated course. It just put me in a very fast track. Okay,
Yeah,
this is something I should be doing. This is something exactly my exit strategy should be, and that's a very key point which I wasn't aware of, like how to achieve it. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. And I remember when we had our first conversation, I think you only found me that day and we had that
yeah,
conversation that day or the next day or something like that. And, we discussed it and, I said, well, do you want to work together? And you were sort of on the fence and you're kind of thinking, I've just met
uh,
this person now. Is he legitimate? Is this a scam? What I'm giving
now
away my money and your
let me
wife
tell you
was
back.
against it? Tell me about,
Yeah,
yeah.
let me tell you about it, because like as I mentioned earlier, like I was going on a Facebook page and asking for advice and help, like where should we go doing the right thing, and had a chat with the PK, and like suddenly started watching his YouTube videos and all the Facebook videos, and it, it started making a lot of sense, and find like I suddenly attracted towards it, like just because what you're explaining, which I never understood before. So for example, negative gearing, what is right, what is wrong, and like how the negative gear will impact, but it's good to have positive cash flow beforehand and all sort of things, like, which I never understand those terminologies as well. Uh, and then I met you like and got your message, and I said like, let's talk about it. I had exist like we just had a call for half an hour, and PK offered me his course, and suddenly like I was not sure should I just pull the trigger right and then and there, because I just watched his like 10 videos max on the same day. And my wife was like, why you just like you haven't met that guy before, you don't know what he's doing, and why you want to just join his course suddenly out of the blue? And I was very hesitant, to be honest, PK. But and once gone through the week one, I went to my wife and, you know what, I have made the best decision of my life, then best investment on myself, spending for this course.
Yeah,
And it's worthwhile. And I'll tell you, like I have already recovered that by using your tips. But I think more than that, just recovered and using the tips and my next purchase.
yeah, yeah. Awesome. No, I'm glad you. I remember on the call I was saying that really I can't convince you to buy the course. It's completely up to you, but you'll
Uh,
see the value once even half a weekend. And this is a bit of a sales thing, right? But yeah, I'm
yeah,
glad you're actually saying it.
now glad, and you offered me like that just have a look at it and then you decide. And you know what, PK, I'll trust you and I'll pull the trigger. But that's the best decision I ever made.
Yeah, no, I'm very grateful you did as well.
And
And so,
person like me, like coming not from like have no knowledge about the accounting or positive or negative cash flow yield, those were just a number, like okay, those are some jargons for myself, like I never understood them before. But going through after this course, like now it seems like I'm a little bit of property expert, and just keep on giving it tips to the friends and advising and just trying to be
yeah, fair enough. And look, yeah, of course, um, fundamental terms like negative gearing, positive cash flow. There's about almost 50 to 70 things in that
that's right.
fundamental aspect that you need to understand. But that's just the basics. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
So
tell me what, apart from the basics, which of course is super valuable. You need to have strong foundations. Tell me what aspects of the course added the most value to you. And I mean, you're sitting here right now with a property that's 20K under market value, has demonstrated growth through COVID, is going to continue flying, established tenants, positive cash flow. And I mean, you've ticked all the boxes. It's not brand new, but it's 10 years old, I think. So great depreciate. I mean, it's low maintenance. You've made as good a decision as you could have.
Yeah.
What in the course allowed you to do that?
It just, I must say, it's just not one part. Like I can't pinpoint like this is the it's a complete journey. It's just a complete process. So first thing was like when I started before I before I met you, I already started searching for the investment property because I had pre-approval ready and everything. I was keep on looking at it, and I never like my search was very blank. I just keep like NSW or some sort of state and just putting my budget field, and I was just searching and whatever is fitting me, and so like, okay, what is the rent it might get, is this close to the school, is close to this and that, like very basic criterias. And I was keep on searching it and I would just keep on looking into it. But then like then I realized, after doing the course, I realized like, nah, I was doing completely wrong. So uh the first, like I can say, it's a journey. Like start with the how to find a right suburb. So once you find the right suburb, and it's not based on assumption. It's just data which I really believe in, and it shows you the trend, and you can see yourself. You can verify those trend with some going to different sources. So that really amazing. Like showing you finding the right suburb first, then it's just the one aspect. Then finding a right pocket of the suburb. That's another good aspect. Like because always you don't know, like when you go to the same suburb, like there are different pockets, like where to buy and which area is the right fit. So that's another process. And due to COVID, like we cannot travel at that time, and then I had to find, okay, now how can I negotiate staying here and m- let someone work for me. So all those tricks, and whatever you have mentioned throughout the course, it's a complete process. Like I just have to keep on following this process, and trust me, I have your videos running on a side or whatever guideline running on a side. I just keep on going, like the entire purchase process, bit by bit. I was just revisiting that particular, like if I'm looking for suburb, I'm just look for that your guidance, like how to find the right pocket of right suburb. Then once I have selected that part, I move to the next thing, and I just keep on repeating again and again until I satisfy myself. Like now I have made all the checklist, and it falls in a place. And it's not just like buying and picking up the right property. The course, the way you have structured it, it's also mentioned about how to negotiate, how to deal with the real estate, and how to work, let people work for you as well. And that comes really handy due to certain COVID period. Otherwise, I might definitely have spent some time going to that place and just looking around and spend thousands of dollars for nothing.
So you're based in Sydney. You bought an amazing property in Queensland, in a metropolitan area. Uh, I know everyone's thinking it when people hear of someone buying, just like I posted the other day, $67,000 under market value, or in your case, $20,000 under market value. Automatically, people start to think, well, how is that even possible? Like, how do you achieve that? So why don't you share your experience of how you did it, like practically? You don't have to go into too much depth if you don't like, but
Mm.
just what the opportunity that presented to you.
Yeah, like there was a few parameter what you have already shown in a tip, like how to find a realist, like right, how to find a right real estate agent, and how to communicate, and what things to look in when you even making your first step, initiating your first step as a negotiator, like negotiating for the property. So all those like helped me a lot, because like even though on the first time I wasn't spot on, like I'm not a phone guy. Like I can't just pick up a call and just talk to anyone like that.
Mhm.
So initially it took me a while. Like I had to let go like 5 properties before making this right move. So I
Yeah.
was negotiating 5 different real estate agent, calling them, but just because the demand and supply ratio was too high, most of the house weren't staying for open for the first open house.
Yeah.
So most of the like some good estate agents were, even though having the right value offered to them, they were trying to push it to the open house just because they want to see more values coming, more offers coming in. And
Because based on all the data, the demand was a superseding supply,
it
looking at all the data
that's
factors.
right. And every single house was selling in the 31st open house, and there were minimum 15 to 20 offers per house. And when I had a like video call for one of the house, and I can see the people queued behind, they were around like altogether within a 1 hour, they had 60 people, 60 different families
60
came for,
families.
yeah, came for the one open house or something. So then I realized now they are not lying. They are not trying to make me fool or something. Like sometime real estate agent just put some words out like, "Nah, we have 70 people coming into with the property," or sort
Yeah.
of things. And I didn't believe that time. Then I had to change my strategy a little bit. Then I thought like, if it is not gonna like, I need to find something which I can negotiate before the open house.
Yeah.
So I have changed the strategy and tried to find uh, one particular property caught my eye, which have some flaws in advertising and all sort of things. So I thought it might be a good fit for myself and negotiation
Hmm.
part. So when like I had like some notification on my mobile, as soon as it comes, call them up, put the offer on the same day because everything was up and running, ready.
Yeah.
So put the offer in. It was rejected, and then I was like negotiated, and I think the real estate agent was. She told me her side of the story that this will be the right price, and that never happened before in a previous
She
five.
spilled the beans.
She spilled the beans. Yeah, never happened before the five negotiation. So no one, everyone wants to get more for their vendors, but that's fine. But she spilled the beans, and I managed to secure before the open house.
Hmm.
So that and those are the tips, a few tips which I have really followed in your one of the course and say like what to do and how to approach the real estate agent, and that really helped during that time.
Yeah. No, I'm glad to hear it because sometimes people think, um, and it's quite common to think this way, that property investing is all about finding the best suburb and the best property. Of course, that's always the bread and butter of property investing, but you need to start with the right long-term strategy. And even if you find the right property, as you know, you may not actually be able to buy it if you don't have the right valuation techniques, the right negotiation techniques, the right way to develop that team so you can be in Sydney, buy in Brisbane or Southeast Queensland without a buyer's agent. It's a
And
process, right?
that's exactly right. As I mentioned, it's completely process. So the I come back to the valuation. So I was using one of the tool how to value your property based on all the parameters surrounding you, and I put my numbers in, and I was supposed to say like I was expecting to pay around 520 for that property, and
Yeah.
if I had paid that much, still it's going to be the positive geared. So I was running the numbers throughout one of another like property budgeting tool as well. So it just constantly keep on changing the variables, and it just giving me how much is gonna it is worth calling the shot or not. But I was happy to pay around 520 for that property based on the tool which I have prepared
Hmm.
using your one of the session. But yeah, i- that helped me a lot. So it gives me an understanding like how much we should be. If I'm overpaying, no, I should be underpaying, no, but I should not be going. This is my target, and if I can pull them before that, that's my savings, or that's
Yeah.
something equity I can use towards the next property.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
And you got it less than 500 in the end. So that was
yeah,
a good outcome. Awesome. Awesome. Well, yeah, look, I think there's typically, I want to use this video just to help breathe some life into, um, what advanced property investing looks like. And you're
yeah,
a case study for someone who's done that. But I also just want to use this video to just explain to people who might be on the fence of of doing the Property Investment Accelerator. And of course, you know, I'm the sort of person, if you can do it yourself, do it
Yeah.
yourself. It's free of cost, do it yourself. But what would you say, Kshitij, to people who are either thinking that how hard can property investing be? It's you just go on realestate.com, buy something, right? Why do I need to pay thousands of dollars on a course? I can just do it myself. What would you say to those people? And what would you say to people who are thinking, I'm actually really busy. I have a wife or I have a husband, couple of kids. I don't have any time. I rather just outsource it to a buyer's agent. What would you say to those two people about the Property Investment Accelerator?
I come to the second question first, if you don't mind. So I'm in the same situation. I have two kids. Like one is like 4 year old and second one is like 2.5. And I'm very hands-on, like very handful dad. I have a job which is very demanding. I have working more than 12 hours a day or something. But the course itself, like provided me the flexibility, the way I want to do work on it. So it's nothing like I have to be sitting on there on particular session and just go through it. So and side by side, the good part was because like I was learning on one module, I was putting that in a practice as well on a side by side.
Right.
So it's just like at your own pace, on your own speed, and plus like continuous support from your side. That's a huge benefit. So like tapping on a shoulder, like okay, now hold my hand and show me, am I doing it right or wrong?
Mhm.
So that really helped. Excuse me. So uh, our yeah, so that's the best part of the course. Like you don't have to be shit. Like you don't have to look at the watch at your own pace. You can do it anytime. So that's the best part, and it really worked for me. So most of the time I was sitting at the night when the kids are at the bed.
Yeah.
That's perfect ideal time for me. So it's very easy on the this side, and people who are still looking for like whether should they pull the trigger for like spending thousands of dollars in uh, on your course, I would say like I already recovered it from purchasing my first property. I think more than that. So it might should give you an idea like person like me who have zero understanding of property management, like property investment, who can come like achieve like really good growing suburb and really good positive cash flow property. So yeah, it tells the story itself.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear
And
it.
and
That's
and and I can't thank you enough to be honest to putting this such a course, which is like completely end to end process. Like even though like I was when I was going to the last module and said, you know what, I don't need this module right now. I might be there, after 5 years of time, I can still come back here and watch this video, understand this module, and do my renovation of my properties, which I really need to go through within a couple of years.
yeah.
So it's something like enormous of amount of information, and it's very structured information. So just have to go in a flow. It's end to end complete understanding of how you should make money or how you should be doing the property investment.
Yeah. I'm glad to hear it. And, you know, like for me, the best thing about when you messaged me the other day that you'd gone unconditional, the best thing is when, of course, the client pays, you know, it's not $100 course. This is an
Mm.
expensive course, unapologetically so. But the best thing is when you get results. And it's like, you know, that gives me satisfaction that actually this thing works. You know, that's the best thing about it.
Yeah, and I agree. And another reason, like, sorry, I forgot to mention you, like, another reason I wasn't able to go to the buyer's agent because I have friends who have gone through them and they haven't achieved any growth in the suburb because like what they end up telling me they just get rid of that stock which they had to get rid of it, so they didn't look at their work in their interest, they just worked on their own interest. So that's something to trigger me and say like, okay, now hang on, I'm not going to the buyer's agent or spending 15 or 10 or $15,000 whatever they're asking. I might just do the study by myself or just learn at least like, even though after course, like if I just go to the buyer's agent, I can even talk to them now that why you're getting in this suburb just because the demand and supply is not right.
Yeah.
And I had that one of the incident like someone called me like which I have contacted before that, and through via mortgage broker they called me and said like, okay, this is a perfect suburb for you to buy, and I give you the house and land package and all sort of things. And it's like, oh, hang on, give me a second. And then I did the research and it's like, no, hang on, what you're saying me, this fine is giving me a positive cash flow. What about the growth?
Yeah.
Growth is going downwards, so it's not helping me. So at least I'm a foolproof now. Like no one can make like I can argue back now. So from zero to I can say somewhere. So something like they can't cheat me
You can
now.
hold your own now. You can't be
Absolutely.
cheated.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, and so would you say, of course, the course is lifetime access, and you have support from me. But even if I was to say I'm never going to help you again, Kshitij, I wouldn't say that. But would you have confidence to then buy your fourth, fifth, sixth property
I just
completely
can't
by yourself?
I just can't wait to get this equity out, to be honest. So
Yeah.
I'm really pumped now because I have all the tools, all the information, what I needed. And the course is like my wife is like I make her sit next to me and just go through the course, and she never understands the property management investment or nothing like that. But like she no, these are the right thing. We never looked into this, and she had started understanding herself. So the detailed description, detailed information is the key, and it's very like this. I mentioned you again like earlier as well. I was keep on going back and forth and to the course, lifetime access, perfect.
Yeah, awesome. Well, yeah, once again, I just wanted to record this video just to, I always post deals of students and things, but it's always nice just so people can actually hear from a real student, and I'll continue to do so many more of these. Thank you for making time, Kshitij. I really appreciate it, and I'm grateful you signed up because now you have a pretty good investment property, and it's actually, I was telling my wife the other day, it's I shouldn't be saying this, but it's probably better than a few of my own investment properties. So you've done really well, and yeah, I wish you the best of luck.
No, thank you very much, PK, and I can't thank you enough. Trust me. Like, yeah, like I was zero before. Like, to be honest, like in property investment, I never understand the concept, but now I actually liking it, and it's just a process. I feel like a lot passionate about it now. So, can't wait to grow my portfolio.
Okay, I can't wait to see it too. Thanks so much,
Cool.
Satish.
Thank you very much,
Okay.
PK. Talk to you soon.